Okay, so you're probably looking at the lecture title and wondering what it really means and how pricing higher is actually better than pricing lower. And let me go ahead and explain that for you real quick. If you get into the world of e-commerce dropshipping and you start looking this up on Google, you're going to come across a lot of quote unquote experts and come across a lot of quote unquote e-dropshipping gurus out there. And I've listened to a lot of these folks, and I'll tell you, they all kind of have the same mantra. And that mantra is price your items really low and take out your competitors that way. And they teach everybody to play these price game wars. So, give you an example: if there's an item that's $20 that you're selling, and let's say you're making $5 profit. Well, they're going to teach you to go in there and price your item for $19 and make a $4 profit. Well, what if the next person next to you that's a competitor does the same thing? They're going to price their item at $18 and make a $3 profit. The problem with that model is there's always going to be somebody willing to take the lower or even the lowest cut. You might have an 18-year-old kid that lives in his mom's basement that's willing to take a $1 profit. So he'll end up selling that item for $16 and make a $1 profit. And there's a huge problem with that. And I really want you to understand this. And if you play that price game war, you're going to drive yourself out of this business. There's two kinds of sellers when it comes to e-commerce, especially with dropshipping. Okay, there's the seller that plays the price game war, and then there's the seller like me that's in it to make a profit. That's it. And I'm going totally against the grain here by even sharing this with you, because I'm probably one of the only guys out there that make an effort to actually price my item the highest. And the reason why I do that is because it's worked out really well for me, in my favor, actually. That's how I was able to make a very good income my first year and continue to do so, is because I understand the game. And I understand that I go after a completely different market. I go after a completely different crowd, okay? And that market is the international market. Like I explained in the arbitrage lecture, there are international folks that don't have access to these products and are willing to pay 2x, 3x, 4x times the value of the product here in the United States. It's crazy. So those are the people that I go after. I go after international buyers, and I go after premium shoppers. I don't go after the shopper that's looking to save every single dollar, the penny pincher, right? Because those shoppers, they're gonna go after the lowest price products, and they're gonna keep shopping and digging around and looking for the best deal. And if they're looking around for the best deal, they're probably gonna find the item outside of eBay anyways, right? So it doesn't even matter. So I go after a totally different crowd, and that works out very well for me. And I'm sharing that with you to hope that you do the same thing, that you go after that crowd, the international buyers, the premium shoppers, okay? Because that's where, in my opinion, where the real profit is at. Now, let me go ahead and show you a real life example in one of the items that's actually in my store right now, okay? Let's go ahead and go to ebay.com and I'll show you real quick. If you actually go to eBay, and you can do this yourself right now, you can type in the word Ryobi P600. Ryobi is a brand of some power tools. And P600 is the model for this trim router. And here's a cool thing about eBay, and also want to mention as a side note, is when you search on the left-hand side, you can actually redefine the results that are shown. A really cool thing that you can do is click on this little button right here that says sold listings. What eBay will do is they will only display the results of the items that sold within the last month or two. Okay, this is a great feature to use for researching purposes. So maybe there's an item that you're thinking of selling. You can go ahead and type it on eBay and type in sold listings, and you'll see there's other people that have already sold it. Okay. So going back to my example real quick, if you type in Ryobi P600, you're going to see there's been a couple of items that already sold this particular router. And if you scroll down, let's go ahead and count how many sold. And now I'm only going to count the new ones. I'm not going to count the used ones because the used ones are in a different category. And I'm only selling new items. Okay, so this one's a used one. And this one looks like a new one, so that's 1. This one's a new one, that's 2. This one's a used one. This one looks like a new one, so that's 3, 4, used one, used one. This one's new, so that's 5, 6, 7. That's the 7th new one that you see. 8. That's a used one. 9. It's another used one. So it looks like in the last month or two, 9 of these new Ryobi P600s have sold. Okay. Now here's a crazy thing. You're gonna see different prices. You're gonna see some prices for $70. You're gonna see some prices for $89.41. You're gonna see some prices for $79.79. Okay, $89.41. Now this is my point here. Notice the price $89.41. That's the highest one. Okay. Guess whose listing that belongs to. You guessed it right. That's my listing. That's my personal listing. When you click on it, you'll go to, and you'll see AMF Deals 104. That's me. That's my store. Okay. Now let's count how many sold at the higher price. This is going to mind boggle you here. Okay. So out of 9 new ones, you're going to see $89.41, $89.41, $89.41. That's 3 right there. Another $89.41. That's 4. And another $89.41. That's 5. So out of 9 of these new ones that sold, 5 of them were mine. Let's take a look at my competitors and what they were selling for. This guy sold it for $79.79, right? And let's see here. And this looks like the same guy, $79.79. Okay, and the same guy sold it for 70. So that guy sold 3 of them at $79.79. And this guy sold it for $70. How was I able to sell more and sell it at the higher price? Because I go after a different crowd. I display my products in the global shipping program, which helps me immensely. And that's how that works. So I let everyone else play the price game while I continue to list my product at the price that I listed at to make a profit. Okay, and I actually have a formula on how that works, and I'll share with you what that formula is. The formula is a magic number, and that magic number is 40%. So how it works is I will take an item to sell, I will find the source for that item, and I will multiply my price for that item by 1.40, 40%. You can make that margin even higher. You can even go as high as 50, 60, 70, 80%, even double the price at 100% and make a profit. But it really depends on your competition. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. Here's the item on HomeDepot.com. You'll notice that it's only $50, brand new. Okay, it's free shipping. Okay, which is awesome. So with taxes, this on average will come out to about $53. Okay, so you'll see how much profit I've been making off of this item, and I've sold dozens of these over the last few months. Okay, you'll go here to this auction calculator that calculates all the fees, the PayPal fees, and spits out your profit. It's a really cool tool. I will be sharing more information about this in the next lecture. I'm gonna go ahead and click on store. The buy it now price was $89. The item cost is $53. Okay, so my net profit after all the fees is $25 every single time I sell this item. $25. So what if you had an item like this that sold 4 times a month? That's $100. What if you had an item like this that sold 8 times a month? That's $200 in profit a month off of one item. What if you had 5 items like this, 10 items like this, 100 items like this? As you can see now, the possibilities are endless. But the point I'm trying to make in this whole lecture is you want to price your item higher than everyone else. Go against the grain from what everyone is saying and what everyone's teaching and playing the price war, because if you play that game, trust me, it's absolutely brutal and you will drive yourself out of this business before you even make a profit. So don't play the price war game. Another point I want to make with the price war game, the reason why it's so dangerous is because you might be prone to a price increase. What if you were playing the price game and your profit was only, $5 or $10, but then when you went to go buy the item, the source increased the price by $20, right? So now you're stuck in a situation where you made an agreement with someone that bought your item at that price, and either A, you don't fulfill it and give them a refund, or B, you give them a refund and risk getting bad feedback because you didn't fulfill your item, right? Or you do the right thing and you fulfill the item and you take a loss, okay? So that's what I wanted to share with you, and share with you that formula. You want to price your items on a minimum of 40%, 1.40, okay? And I'll share with you more in detail on exactly how to do that. But basically, you see an item that you want to sell, you take that price, you multiply it by 1.40. In this example, you're going to see that you'll take $50, and don't worry about the taxes, okay? You want to worry about your item price plus your shipping price. You take those two together and you multiply it by 1.40, okay? So your item price plus your shipping price by 1.40. You don't have to worry about taxes because taxes vary from state to state. And the 40%, the formula that I gave you already incorporates the taxes in there. So on a minimum, you always wanted to do by 40%. Now in this example, you're going to see that I sell this item for more than 40%. I'll share with you why as well. So if you take $50, it's free shipping. So there's no shipping involved. If there was shipping, let's say the shipping was $5, and I would multiply it by 55 times 1.40, okay? But since this item is $50 with free shipping, I'm just going to take 50 times 1.40. So my selling price for this item back on eBay would be $70 on a minimum. Now, I increased that price by 80%. You'll take $50 times 1.80, which is $90. I was selling for $89, which is the same thing. The reason why I doubled my margin of 40% and sold it for 80% was at the time, there was very low competition. I noticed there was only about one or two other people selling this item. So it was extremely low competition. So I wanted to go in there and advertise mine at the highest price, okay? Now, if you notice there's 10, 20, 30 other people selling the same thing, don't be afraid and don't prevent yourself from selling that item. You can sell it, but make sure you list it at the 1.40 price, at the minimum 40% price, okay? And that is my absolute rock bottom price. I never go below 40% because if I go below 40%, that's when I start losing money. So 40% is the minimum that's gonna help you make healthy profits, okay? So make sure as you're starting up your store and you're listing your items that you follow this formula, and that way you can emulate the results that I've been doing.